Hello folks, welcome back. In this session, let us observe how we can auto-wire with the annotation based configuration. For this, I'm continuing with the previous project. So the previous project is this one. Here, earlier we have XML based configuration. For that, just have a look on this. Here in spring.xml, I have written two beans, their person and address. Okay, so here address, earlier I had two addresses, but for the coming exercise sake I am making a single address. So one only address I have now, and then in the beans, both the beans, address and person, these address and person I am setting back to a single address member variable, and then in the person, in the address, nothing to change in the address class, right? So everything is set back to the previous configurations. Now let us try to continue with the annotation based configuration. In order to have annotation based configuration, we need to add one more line here in spring.xml, spring configuration file, that is this context colon, another XML namespace we have added here. In order to work this newly added XML namespace, we need to add these lines here in this XML file. As the result of adding these lines in XML file, spring.xml file, we can write few more XML new tags here. So that kind of one tag is context colon. Yeah, here all newly adding XML elements should be qualified with the context colon XML tags comes. Annotation config is one XML element. As the result of adding this annotation config XML tag, here onwards in this application will use annotation configuration along with the XML configuration that we wrote below. Okay, this XML element alone is not sufficient. Along with that, another XML element from the same namespace, context colon component scan. This is another annotation. So where, in which package all the annotated components are available, so that the Spring framework will read through those packages and the sub packages of the packages mentioned here for all the annotated classes. So where we have all annotated classes, com.tutorial, this is all. And since we are going to approach with the annotation configuration, we don't want to use this XML configuration. So let us comment out the XML information about XML metadata about the beans. So now these beans, the person bean with John @msn.com, this is not going to be used by Spring framework. One of the major configuration we have done. Now the next step, the beans. Here these two beans are to be annotated. So since we mentioned here annotation configuration and base package, now this application can use annotations. So here person is to be annotated with the component. Then all these member variables should get data from earlier XML configuration, now annotations. So how it is value. Value can be something like 333, and the name of the person, that is value, some random name, Titiksha, and email address, that is value, titiksha@gmail.com. okay, and then this address will hold for a moment for this address. Now we'll go back to the address class. Here again this class also is to be annotated with the component, and how we did earlier in person class, the same way we have to annotate here. This house number value is 11-23, some random number, at the rate value here Netaji Bhavan, and then the city value is Kolkata. Right. Now the address class is finished. This component annotated class can be auto-wired here at the rate auto-wired. Okay, here auto-wire causes injection point. Auto-wiring causes injection point of address class in person class. Means exactly at this point Spring framework injects the address object. Okay, now let us go to the application. Again, in the application we can do small change here. This get bean, instead of giving simple string, this time let us give person dot class. So the person class object, whatever was there in the application context, that will be returned here. Now let us try to execute this. If all the configurations are fine, then we get, see here, ID, name, email, and the address is Netaji Bhavan, Kolkata. So this is in this configuration, what all we have done. First, one new XML namespace we have added, qualified with the context, and then the location of XML namespace we have specified. As a result of adding this new XML namespace, you can use new XML tags. Those XML tags are component scan and then annotation config. At the same time, we have to annotate all the classes with the @ component and member variables with the @ value at the injection point auto-wired. Now here, auto-wire by private field, this is called auto-wire by private field, but this is not really a good practice. Actually, we have three alternatives for this, three ways auto-wire we can do. Injection point we can have in three ways. One is auto-wire by private field, otherwise it is called private field based injection, and the second one is constructor based injection. Okay, so for that constructor based injection, we need to have one more constructor using fields. Now we need to have a constructor with only address. Here above this constructor you need to write auto-wired annotation. So constructor injection, the earlier one is field, private field injection, this is constructor injection. Let us execute and see what is going to happen. Perfectly working. And the other one is setter based injection, means auto-wired annotation should be above the setter method of address here. Okay, now after this configuration, once again let us execute and verify whether is it executing or not. Perfectly executed. Here what is the takeaway? We have three different places for injecting the dependencies. Here we understood new concept, dependency injection. So the injection points, three places, three ways we have to inject the dependencies. They are private field injection, constructor injection, and setter injection. In these three, the setter injection is the top best one, and the second constructor injection, but even though syntax is permitting, private field injection is not at all recommended because it is violating secure coding practices. Better don't do that. This is constructor based auto wiring. At the same time we understood injection, dependency injection. Thank you for watching.